Have a airplane wing on the top of them, 950 plus horsepower, 1,400 pound race car, violent machines that are incredibly difficult to drive on a dirt track. Track conditions changing all the time, cars flipping, close finishes, just high intensity.
What my best version to explain it is the cars are loud, the cars are fast. They're dangerous. One person is in control when you're out on the racetrack. There's 24 of them, and the drivers race as hard as they can for 30 laps straight.
I'm Tony Laporta, and fans, welcome to High Limit Sprint Car Racing.
High Limit's, it's where it's at. It's a top series. I feel like the drivers, the guys that are on the road are obviously some of the best, and you're racing just as hard for 15th on back as you are for the win. I mean, maybe even harder back there. So,
I'm Justin Peck, and you're watching Kubota High Limit Racing.
I think it's going to be tough. I think, you're going to see times when they might do super well, there might be podium or might get a win. Then, a few weeks later, they might not make the show. So that's it's a challenging part of High Limit, and I think we're all looking forward to the challenge.
But to go out and be a part of the National Series, be a part of the High Limit Series, race all over the country, I love that aspect of it, and I'm just very honored to have the support of everybody back home.
And we're green.
It's cool to still race with these people, and it's going to be cool if one of us, of course, are going to come away the Rookie of the Year. So it's cool to be the first if that's going to be me.
Super blessed to have the opportunity and looking to put up a fight.
I'm Aaron Reitzel, and you're watching Kubota High Limit Racing.
High Limit Sprint Car Racing is high stakes, high rewards. Sprint cars are action-packed automobiles. Things happen fast, things happen out of control. You can be close to the action, it's dirty, it's loud, it rattles your brain, and you're not really sure what you're witnessing, but you like it.
I'm Tyler Courtney, and you're watching Kubota High Limit Racing.
My name is Chase Randall, and you're watching Kubota High Limit Racing.
For the fourth time in series history, High Limit Racing rolls into Kansas City, Kansas, the Lakeside Speedway. It is the Hasty Bake Grills Kansas City Clash here at the Lakeside Speedway. 33 cars signed into the pit area here tonight to take on one of the most racy joints in the state of Kansas. As we mentioned, this is the fourth visit for the series here. Last year, both races won by Brad Sweet, but both races featured 3 different leaders throughout the course of the 30 laps of action. And so we are expecting to see some great on-track excitement throughout the entire night here. We've got a great crowd rolling in. I'm Chase Rodman. You can't miss me tonight. Got the orange shirt on. You won't miss Tony Laporta as well. He's down there with his orange shirt on as well. And we are ready to get going here tonight after a couple of rainouts. We had a rainout on 81 on Wednesday night, so the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series is going to have to wait till Monday at Kokomo. But we have some fantastic weather here today. As you can see from our FloRacing drone, 75 degrees right now, 1 mile per hour wind, and clear skies. So I don't know how much better it can get than that. It's sunny and 75. I'm sure somebody wrote a song about that. I don't remember his name. Tony could probably fill us in later. But here are the order of events of what you're going to see here this evening. Hot laps will kick things off here in about 10 minutes or so. Then we'll get into qualifying time trials. 2 laps on the clock for 2 cars at the same time. That will line them up for their heat races here this evening. We will have 4 heat races. Each of them will be 8 laps in distance and transfer the top 5 finishers into the feature. Then we'll have 2 cars out of each heat race go to the dash, which will be 7 laps in distance. We'll have a 12-lap B-main and a 30-lap $20,000 to win feature for the Hasty Bake Grills Kansas City Clash here at the Lakeside Speedway. Here are a couple of notable entries that are in the pit area tonight. Cale Thomas is back driving a sprint car here after some issues earlier on this season. He is going to be racing the Beaver Drill and Tool number 12 car this evening, filling in for Cameron Key. Cory Day is back as well, winner of the opening race at Las Vegas. Tanner Holmes is rejoined with the series as well in the Tarleton Racing 21. The other 21, Brian Brown, former World of Outlaws winner here is as well. Emerson Axum, his High Limit Racing season debut in that 27. Corey Eliason, former high roller. Kerry Madsen is here Ty Gibbs, Ayrton Jennison, Austin McCarl, and several others have signed into the pit area tonight for our 9th race of 2025 with Kubota High Limit Racing. Here are some of the track facts. We are located right here in Kansas City. This place opened back in 1989. When it first opened, though, it was a pavement track, and then about 10 years later, they converted it to a dirt track, and that's how it's been ever since 1999. 4/10 of a mile is the distance, and the track record set by David Gravel here back on October 22nd of 2021. That lap time of 13.169 seconds will be the time to beat during Capital Custom Trailer qualifying here this evening. We'll see if we can get anywhere near it, but that's a pretty darn good lap there from DG, as it looks like we've got Tony Laporta hanging out down there in the infield. Tony, we've got our orange shirts on today, and we're feeling pretty good.
On Fridays, we wear orange. Is that a thing? I don't know if it is. I rode my JT Power Sports Burrow Max Pit Reporter Transport vehicle down here into the infield. Chase, the weather report you hit us with at the top of the show, sunny and 75. Joe Nichols, he put the song out in 2013. Step your country music knowledge up a little bit. How about that? Hey, that broadcast booth shot that Tyler McKim gave us of you up high was a great looking shot. You introduced yourself, you talked about me, but you didn't even mention Anthony Carini over your shoulder, timing and scoring extraordinaire. The gang's all here this weekend for Kubota High Limit Racing. Tonight at Lakeside, tomorrow down at Tri-City in Granite City, Illinois. This track is wide, it's fast, it's warm. We caught up in a pit area a little while ago with someone who's really hoping this track gets wide and slick and fast later on tonight. I'm talking about Cory Eliason.
Before the 2025 Kubota High Limit Racing season began back in March in Las Vegas, the series had run 61 races from 2023, 2024, and the few races they ran in 2022. The only driver who had been at every one of those 61 races was Cory Eliason. Then he went and left us. We miss you. What have you been up to? How's life? What's going on in your world?
Well, I'm back now.
I know, and I'm
so
stoked.
That's good. That's a start. I bring some enjoyment into the trailer, I hope. We've been, racing. Started out kind of in March. Just trying to get our feet wet. Try to, new team, new car. They got a new driver, so just getting a baseline. Ran Knoxville the past few weekends. I feel like we're got in the right direction. I feel like, we're kind of starting to be in the competitive spot we need to be in.
You've been a lifer in the sport of sprint car racing. When you're not racing sprint cars, you have a powder coating business, you work in the sport, you race in the sport, you're a part of sprint car racing. So yes, we are super happy and grateful. You're back here running with us. You already hit on it, teaming up with TKS and transitioning over to that team. What goes into jumping behind the wheel of a race car for the first time and competing? What's that assimilation process like?
We just got to find what's comfortable for me. Kind of what they did last year necessarily doesn't always work for me and doesn't always, work for the crew chief as well. So just kind of figuring out kind of what I'm used to feeling and what I want to feel is kind of, been the tougher part of things, but that comes with it, right? So everybody wants instant gratification, and that's, we always strive to be the best. And I feel like now we're back to where we need to be, and just kind of keep going as we can throughout the month of May.
You know what brings me instant gratification? Getting to talk to you at a high limit race.
Perfect. I could probably say the same, but then I would probably be lying to all the fans watching.
Ouch. You called me a pumpkin when I walked up here to do this interview. Hashtag not cool. What is hashtag cool? Is Cory Eliason is back with Kubota High Limit Racing. Cory, can't wait to see how you do on track tonight. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Cory Eliason.
Always good to catch up with Cory Eliason. What a cool streak he had competing in all 61 of Kubota High Limit Racing's events ever since the summer of 2022. He switches operations. He's running a bit of an everywhere kind of schedule here in 2025, so we are happy and excited to have him, as well as a lot of those other notable entries that Chase hit on right before we heard from Cory Eliason. We are here, folks. It is the Hasty Bake Charcoal Grills Kansas City Clash. Our friends at Hasty Bake are back there in the T-shirt alley area, cooking up, smoking up, and grilling up a bunch of delicious food for the drivers, the teams, the friends and the families, and everyone else who's here this weekend. We have got the vintage mods on track. They're going to put a little bit of heat into this place, and then when we come back, we're going to put some heat in you, because sprint cars will be on track next. Don't go anywhere, folks. FloRacing will be right back.
And last couple of hot laps going on right now for the vintage cars before we get to the sprint cars and their hot lap sessions here in just a few moments. Before we get into that, we did want to talk about the current point standings after 8 races of action with Highlander Racing. Brad Sweet shows the way with 597 points. He has a 100, I believe that is actually, it's supposed to be actually an 83-point lead over Tyler Courtney right now, second in points. Behind him, Brent Marks, 86 points back in third. Fourth is Rico Aber. He is minus 98. Aaron Reitzel in fifth at minus 105, as there we go. Casey Kane, sixth in points. Seventh is Justin Peck. Eighth is Chase Randall. Ninth, Spencer Baston. And 10th in points right now is the 88 of Tanner Thorson. Now, if you are here in the grandstands tonight, for the first time this year, you'll be able to bet, you'll be able to wager on the racing going on the racetrack tonight. So if you like a driver and you think, hey, maybe he can get the win tonight, well, you could throw a little bit of money on him for the outright winners. You could do that by going to nxtbets.com/playhlr. Find out which sports books are available in your region. Here are some of the odds for tonight. Some of the DFS or daily fantasy sports. Kyle Larson, will he or Brad Sweet be better than 2.5 or worse than 2.5 tonight? Corey Day, Rico Aber, they're at 4.5. So if you choose better on that, they need to finish 4th or better. Brent Marks is 5.5. Tyler Courtney is 6.5. And Aaron Reitzel is 7.5. For Rodman's Risk tonight, we're going to go with Corey Day. Better than 4.5. He was up there on the podium last year here. Tyler Courtney better than 6.5. And I'm going to take Aaron Reitzel at 7.5 all day long as they're giving it to us. Better than 7.5 for Reitzel as well. That is Rodman's Risk here this evening. We've got cars getting close to making their way onto the racetrack here for the first Dirt Draft Hot Lap session of the night. Before we get into that, though, on Wednesday of next week, you'll be able to watch the second episode of Dirt 2 on Fox Sports 1. If you have not seen that yet, it is a docuseries following around all of the drivers from Highlander Racing in 2024. Here is a little snippet of episode 2.
Brad
Brad Sweet is at the top of sprint car racing.
Who's better in a wing sprint car than Brad Sweet? Nobody.
Rico Abreu is the single best personality we have in sprint car racing. The Gold Cup Race of Champions really define the sprint car driver's season. It's where you can make your most money. It's where you can really make a name for yourself.
Gold Cup's always been a party crowd. There's so many details that go into executing that I'm focused on before I even think about the actual race.
You know, we'd won Gold Cup the year before, so it's always nice to come back to a race knowing that you're all capable of winning it.
Brad Sweet, he's won almost everything in the sport. It's amazing that he's never won this event.
Cory Day back to the inside, down the back straightaway. Brad Sweet goes to the bottom, side by side for the race lead off of turn number 2. Day hooks the cushion, nearly dropped it off the edge of the racetrack right there. Oh, upside out front straightaway. Red flag comes out. Catch episode 2 of Dirt 2 on Wednesday night, Fox Sports 1. You can check that out on your television. Now we've got cars on the racetrack for the first Dirt Draft Hot Lap session of the night. Basically a practice session for these drivers as the first car gets fired off into turn number 1 now. He's out of Marshall, Missouri, driving the Trimble Real Estate, Majors Construction, Ozark Barge and Dock, Superior Lawn. Number 98P, that is Miles Paulus. Miles Paulus in the 98P. And also making his high-limit season debut out of Altoona, Iowa, driving the Jetco, Blondie Motorsports, DeBerg Concrete, City Vending, number 27. That is Carson McCarl. Carson McCarl in the 27X. And rolling by him on the backstretch, currently second in high-limit racing point standings from Indianapolis, Indiana. Driving the NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Brandt Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge. Number 7 BC of Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. Tyler Courtney in the 7 BC. And from Elk Grove, California, driving the FloRacing Finley Farms, HendrickCars.com, Falkins Brothers Trucking Works Limited, JVI Group number 57. It's Young Money, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson in the 57. And working his way down the front stretch now from Enum Claw, Washington, the Kane Screen Print, Brumo's Collection, HendrickCars.com, Caravan Trailers, Children's Mercy of Kansas City, number 9 of Casey Kane. Casey Kane in car number 9. And just coming across the flag stand from Lebanon, Indiana, driving the Sander Engineering, Four Seas Construction, Tally, Autry Plumbing, Sincal Demolition, number 14. That is Spencer Baston. Spencer Baston in the 14. Also in turn number 1 now from Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blaskin Coating, Mountain Mechanical, MAV Motorsports, number 42. One of our Rookie of the Year contenders, Cy Lynch. Cy Lynch in the 42. Another Rookie of the Year contender makes his way into turn number 2 now from Waco, Texas. The All-Bar Your Alternative, Infamous Inc., Bush's Chicken, Flint Rock Ranch, Easy Print. Number 9R, it's the quickest chicken, Chase Randall. Chase Randall in the 9R. And also on the racetrack from McLarenville, South Australia, the Dirty Air, Mel Hamilton Racing, number 78 of Scott Boguski. Scott Boguski in the 78. Looks like all cars are fired, and we are ready to go green on our first Dirt Draft Hot Lap session of the night here at Lakeside Speedway for the Hasty Baked Grill's Kansas City Clash. Track does appear to be a little bit greasy out there right now as cars are still trying to find their footing out there, so a little bit of a slower pace than what we normally are used to seeing here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Remember, Dirt Draft has a new feature for 2025, and it's Dirt Draft Leagues. It allows users to create private multi-event competitions and leaderboards, going head-to-head with friends, family, rivals, or whoever they choose to invite. Users can customize the league length weekly, monthly, season-long, or anything in between. So if you would like to play Dirt Draft with high-level racing against maybe just a couple of your buddies, then Dirt Draft Leagues is the perfect way to do that. One of the new features on the Dirt Draft app. Get you a little bit more involved in the racing, gives you something to cheer on. As we do have lap times coming across the screen now. Currently the fastest is Cy Lynch at 20.737, so a 20-second lap as of right now, is the best. Remember, the track record down in the low 13 seconds. So track certainly has a little bit of water to it right now. Casey Kane, first driver in the 19 seconds at 19.908. So the yellow flag will come out, and we are going to have these drivers slowly pace around the track and pack in the surface a little bit more. The fastest driver right now is Casey Kane. That lap time is a 19.908, about almost 7 seconds close to it off the pace of the track record here at the Lakeside Speedway. So we are well off the pace right now, but we should be able to get the track worked in here relatively quickly. Last year, it was all about Brad Sweet. He went to victory lane both nights at Lakeside Speedway, but in both races, Tony, there were 3 different leaders. Lakeside can put on a good show.
It was all about Brad Sweet when we were here last year, Chase, but you know what it was also all about on the first of the 2 nights that we raced here in Kansas City was the amount of standing water in the infield here. I don't know if you remember, but when we showed up the day before we were supposed to race, the Thursday of that race week, there were literal pools of standing water over in turns 1 and 2. So the fact this track's got a little bit of moisture in it right now to start the night, not a big surprise. That's not really going to throw anybody off for a curveball, but it doesn't have the amount of saturated grounds and heavy standing water that we saw here last year. So yeah, it's heavy right now. They're working it in. Mike obviously runs these guys a second time around in that first Hot Laps group. But as you see that beautiful shot of this 4/10 mile oval, I think with the sun in the sky, light breezes today, and just the great lack of water compared to last year, I think you're going to see a much different racetrack than we saw here 1 year ago.
Yeah, would not be shocked if that was indeed the case there, Tony, as we are throwing the green flag back out. Drivers getting back up to speed. We'll see if we can maybe get down into the 16-second bracket here. 19.908, the best time by Casey Kane. As we get a look at Chase Randall right there in the 9R, one of our Race Redeem Foundation Rookie of the Year contenders. Randall 23rd here in 2023 with High Limit Racing. There is Carson McCarl, his High Limit season debut. 18-second lap time for Tyler Courtney. It's an 18.482. Casey Kane right behind him at 18.521. And now Chase Randall, now Miles Paulus into the 15-second bracket. He's the fastest so far. 14-second time for Tyler Courtney and Kyle Larson. White flag in the air from the flag stand. A lot of movement here with these 9 drivers on the racetrack. Well, the checker's out, yellow lights come on. Kyle Larson, now the fastest in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, the lap time of 14.472 seconds. So the 57 shows the way early on. Casey Kane is second, 14.826. Tyler Courtney, 14.931. Spencer Baston is a 14.981. And Scott Boguski in fifth at a 15.138. That's the top 5 currently in High Limit Racing Dirt Draft Hot Laps as we've got session number 2 now making its way onto the racetrack right now. First driver you see onto the racetrack right here next to the flag stand comes to us out of Gravois Mills, Missouri, driving the Ozark Barge and Dock Wet Steps High Performance Lubricants Hibden Gravel, number 3 of Ayrton Jeniton. Ayrton Jeniton in car number 3. And the most recent winner with High Limit Racing back on Saturday night in Texas. Out of St. Helena, California, driving the Rico Abreu, Kerbag Engineering Racing, Pacific Boring, Jackson Superheroes Foundation, Weld Wheels, the Riser Agency, number 24 of Rico Abreu. Rico Abreu in the 24. And lined up next to him out of Jacksonville, Oregon, driving the Tarleton & Son, American Rock and Rent, Durst Incorporated, High Performance Lubricants, number 21. That is Tanner Holmes. Tanner Holmes in the 21. And another one of our Rookie of the Year contenders gets fired off in turn 1 now. From Northport, Florida, driving the Global Link, Moxie Performance Sports Advisors Creative Products Group, number 24D of Danny Sams III. Danny Sams in the 24D. And rolling around the bottom in turn number 2 now. Coming to us out of Odessa, Missouri. Driving the Design Source Flooring Motor Haven. Schnee Lawson Chassis. TNT Equine. Number 74 of Xavier Doney. Xavier Doney in the 74. And making his Highland Racing season debut as well tonight from Franklin, Indiana, driving the WCI, Klossmeyer Petrie Motorsports IPC Z-Max number 27 of Emerson Axum. Emerson Axum in the 27. From Springfield, Nebraska, driving the Estenson Racing Carpet Land Certified Transmission Mecum Auctions number 53, that is the Gas Man, Jack Dover. Jack Dover in the 53. And from Higginsville, Missouri, driving the Casey's FVP Annie's Frozen Custard Impact Signs World Racing Cat Excavation number 21 of Brian Brown. Brian Brown in the 21. Those are the drivers, 8 of them in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2 here at Lakeside Speedway. Fastest so far once again is Kyle Larson at 14.472 seconds. Track record, remember, is a 13.1. A 13.169 to be exact. So still well off the track record, but we'll see if we can get anybody in the 13-second bracket here in this session. And the flagman, Sean Wilson, letting them know to get them rolling here, get them rolling. As the green flag now waves on Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2 here at the Hasty Bake Grills Kansas City Clash. A quick green-white checkered practice session. Brian Brown into the top 5. Danny Sams goes second quick so far. And now Rico Abreu goes to the top. Checkered flag coming out this time by the line. Abreu even better the second time by the line. Tanner Holmes up to the second spot. Xavier Doney up to 5th. So practice session number 2 done and dusted. Rico Abreu now the fastest driver at 14.362 seconds, picking up right where he left off at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track on Saturday night. Tanner Holmes is second, 14.470. Kyle Larson third. Danny Sams the third and fourth at a 14.614, and Xavier Doney in that group as well, fifth quick at a 14.656 second lap time. Of the 16 cars that have taken a time so far in practice, we've got 2 more groups left to come out to hot lap here tonight. More drivers making their way on the front stretch now. The closest one to the outside wall out of Visalia, California, driving the Iowa Barnstormers, Des Moines Industrial Products, Jersey Freeze, Central Iowa Sheds. Number 2 KS, that is Cory Eliason. Cory Eliason in the 2 KS. And lined up to his inside out of Lubbock, Texas, driving the Horizon Whiskey, Nice Crete and Landis block, ShopTruckParts.com, FillPools.com, High Performance Lubricants number 5 of Brenham Crouch. Brenham Crouch in car number 5. And making his Lakeside Speedway debut tonight from Charlotte, North Carolina, the PristineAuction.com, Avanti Windows and Doors number 84 of Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs in the 84. And the winner of both main events here last year, and the current series point leader out of Grass Valley, California, the Napa Auto Parts, Brumo's Collection, Durst Incorporated, Factory Kane, FC Traffic Control, number 49. It's the Big Cat, Brad Sweet. Brad Sweet in the 49. And from Minden, Nevada, driving the JST Motorsports, The Ritual, Smith Titanium, Factory Kane, Maxima Racing Oils, number 88. That is Tanner Thorson. Tanner Thorson in the 88. And making his way into the third corner now from Ankeny, Iowa, the C&D Elevator Construction, Higherview Enterprises, Heartland Steel, IntelliSense, number 44 of Chris Martin. Chris Martin in the 44. From Sioux Falls, South Dakota, driving the hefty brand seed, Blondie Motorsports, Odds and Underground IDSP number 6K of Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson in the 6K. And final driver on the racetrack now, from Fairland, Indiana, driving the Beaver Drill and Tool, Sabro Manufacturing, Bleeding Disorders of the Heartland, number 12X of Cale Thomas. Cale Thomas in the 12X. Cars underway now in our third Dirt Draft Hot Lap session of the night. Cale Thomas up to 6th quick in the 12X. Tanner Thorson goes to 4th. Eliason right behind him, and Brad Sweet goes straight to the top. 14.260 seconds. Chris Martin 5th quick now at a 14.506. Well, Brad Sweet is now the fastest driver overall in practice here tonight. 14.260 for car number 49. Rico Abreu 2nd, Tanner Holmes 3rd, Kyle Larson 4th, and Chris Martin in that group was 5th quick overall at a 14.506 seconds. Tanner Thorson, Caleb Johnson, Cory Eliason, Danny Sams, and Xavier Doney will be the top 10 with one more group of cars left to practice here tonight. First car getting pushed onto the speedway in our 4th and final practice session. Out of Monrovia, Indiana, driving the Skagit Speedway, Race Name Foundation Ford Performance Hager Realty Services, number 26 of Justin Peck. Justin Peck in the 26. And lined up just to his left, out of Clovis, California, driving the Myers Constructors, 4 Cs Construction, driven to save lives, Sander Engineering, Tally Oil, number 14 BC, it's Cory Day. Cory Day in the 14 BC. And from Altoona, Iowa, driving the Country Builders Construction, Ochako West, Bosma Family Farms, Tucker Trucking, number 88W of Austin McCarl. Austin McCarl in the 88W. And first car to make it into turn number 1 from Benton, Arkansas, driving the J.B. Henderson Construction, MPV Logistics, Massey Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium, number 45X of Landon Crawley. Landon Crawley in the 45X. From Locust Grove, Oklahoma, driving the Pella Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, number 13. That is Dason Persley. Dason Persley in the 13. And from Clute, Texas, the Fulkins Brothers Trucking, Power Plus, STC American Table, B&L Holdings, number 87, it's Aaron Reitzel. Aaron Reitzel in the 87. From Myerstown, Pennsylvania, driving the M&M Painting and Construction, DeGru Equipment Auctions, Bass Paint, Livewire Customs. Number 19, the driver is Brent Marks. Brent Marks in the 19. And final car on the racetrack now, from St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, the TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Zip Bonds, Elite Installations, number 55. It's the Madman, Kerry Madsen. Kerry Madsen in the 55. So those are the drivers in our final Dirt Draft Hot Lap session of the night here at Lakeside Speedway. Lap time they are all chasing is a 14.260 seconds, set by Brad Sweet. Rico Abreu, Tanner Holmes, Kyle Larson, and Chris Martin currently the top 5. Justin Peck first across the line. He is 7th overall at 14.510. Only driver in the top 10 so far. Kerry Madsen jumps into the 3rd spot. As I say that, so does Cory Day. Day now 3rd overall. Madsen right behind him along with Peck. All 3 of those drivers inside the top 5, and now Aaron Reitzel will join them. So the final driver, or the final group of cars, fastest driver, third overall, is Cory Day in the 14 BC, a 14.387 second lap time. Brad Sweet, the fastest overall tonight in Dirt Draft Hot Lap, so at 14.260 seconds. Rico Abreu in second, 14.362. Cory Day third, Aaron Reitzel fourth at 14.429, and Kerry Madsen in fifth at a 14.434 seconds. Justin Peck, Tanner Holmes, Kyle Larson, Chris Barton, and Tanner Thorson round out the top 10 in Dirt Draft Hot Laps here tonight at Lakeside Speedway. Next on to the racetrack, it'll be Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches. They are the #1 Renegade Toterhome dealers and the #1 Intech trailer dealers. No one sells more Toterhomes or Intech trailers than Capital Renegade Custom Trailers and Coaches. If you're in the market for a Toterhome or a trailer, trust the people that are there in the pits with you and that support the sport. Check out their complete lineup at www.capitalrenegade.com. So qualifying, we'll have 2 cars on the track at the same time. They will go 2 laps around the track. The best of those 2 laps will line them up for a heat race later on in the racing program. With 33 cars signed in, we do have 2 different flights of qualifying, meaning that there will be Flight A. The drivers in Flight A will come out first, and they will all be drivers in the first and second heat races. And then the second flight of cars will be in heat races 3 and 4. As we now roll into Capital Custom Trailer qualifying right now. First car onto the speedway. Out of Enumclaw, Washington, driving the Kane Screen Print Bruno's Collection, HinderCars.com, Caravan Trailers, Children's Mercy of Kansas City, #9 at Casey Kane. And also on the racetrack from Apollo, Pennsylvania. The Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blasting Coating, Mountain Mechanical, Map Motorsports, #42 of Cy Lynch. Casey Kane. Coming off 2 top 10 runs at Texas Motor Speedway. Lap 1 for him is a 14.456, 14456. Cy Lynch's Lakeside Speedway debut tonight. Lap 1 is a 14.770, 14770. Casey Kane on lap number 2. He will slow down to a 14.642, 14642. And Cy Lynch on lap number 2, he will improve to a 14.736, 14736. So Casey Kane has the fastest time after 2 cars at a 14.456. He sets the bar in Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Up next from Elk Grove, California, driving the FloRacing, Finley Farms, HinderCars.com, Falcons Brothers Trucking, Works Limited, JVI Group. Number 57, here is Young Money, Kyle Larson. And from Altoona, Iowa, driving the Jetco, Blondie Motorsports, DeBerg Concrete, City Vending, number 27X of Carson McCarl. Carson McCarl, the 27X, Kyle Larson in the 57. Kyle Larson up on the top of the racetrack to complete his opening lap, and it will be to the top. 14.198, 14198. Carson McCarl, lap number 1. He will be third quick. 14.545, 14545. Kyle Larson, lap number 2. It's going to be better. 14.127, 14127. Carson McCarl, lap number 2. He will slow down to a 14.614. First lap better, 14.545. Now Kyle Larson is the fastest in Capital Custom Trailer qualifying at 14.127. Next 2 qualifiers on the racetrack now. From McLarenville, South Australia, the Dirty Air, Male Hamilton Racing, number 78 of Scott Boguski. And also on the racetrack from Marshall, Missouri, the Trimble Real Estate, Majors Construction, Ozark Barge and Dock, Superior Lawn, number 98P of Miles Paulus. Miles Paulus in the 98P, Scott Boguski in the 78. Boguski, former World of Outlaws top 10 finisher here at Lakeside. Lap 1 for him will be third quick, 14.495. Lap 1 for Miles Paulus. He will be a 15.010, 15010. Boguski fifth at the Knoxville points opener on April 26th. Lap number 2, he's going to slow down across the line. A problem for Boguski. He's off the pace. Paulus on lap 2, he will improve to a 14.831, 14831. Scott Boguski third quick and Miles Paulus sixth quick. After 6 cars in Flight A of Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Coming up next at 11 in Indiana, driving the Sander Engineering, 4C's Construction, Tally, Autry Plumbing, Sintal Demolition, number 14 of Spencer Baston. And joining him, one of our Rookie of the Year contenders out of Waco, Texas, the all-by-year alternative, Infamous Inc. Bush's Chicken, Flint Rock Ranch, Easy Print, number 9R of the Quickest Chicken, Chase Randall. Chase Randall, the 9R, Spencer Baston, the 14. Baston was 8th and 22nd in the features here last year with High Limit Racing. Lap number 1 for Baston, he'll be 5th quick at a 14.567. Lap 1 for Chase Randall, he will be 6th quick, 14.616. Chase Randall was 23rd here with High Limit back in 2023. Lap number 2 for Spencer Baston, he will be slower, 14.699. And for Chase Randall on lap number 2, he will improve up the 5th quick, 14.559. 14.559. Chase Randall 5th and Spencer Baston 6th of 8 cars here in Flight A. Clocking in next from Indianapolis, Indiana, the NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, Elliot's Custom Trailers and Carts, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge, number 7 BC, here is Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. And from Jacksonville, Oregon, driving the Tarleton & Son, American Rock and Rent, Durst Incorporated, High Performance Lubricants, number 21 of Tanner Holmes. Tanner Holmes in the 21, Tyler Courtney in the 7 BC. Sunshine, 2nd and 8th here last year with High Limit. Lap 1 for him is going to be 3rd quick, 14.492, 14.492. Tanner Holmes' opening lap is going to be 7th quick, 14.562, 14.562. Tyler Courtney on lap number 2. He is going to be better. 2nd quick, 14.292, 14.292. Holmes on lap 2. He's better as well. 5th quick, 14.544, 14.544. Tanner Holmes 5th and Tyler Courtney 2nd of 10 cars in Flight A. The most recent series winner now powers up. Out of St. Helena, California, the Rico Abreu, Kerbagajanian Racing, Pacific Boring, Jackson Superheroes Foundation, Weld Wheels, the Weiser Agency, number 24 of Rico Abreu. And from Northport, Florida, driving the Global Link, Moxie Performance Sports Advisors Creative Product Group, number 24D of Danny Sams III. Danny Sams in 24D, Rico Abreu in 24. Abreu's opening lap time is going to be 2nd quick, 14.233, 14.233. Lap 1 for Danny Sams. He's going to be 11th overall, 14.763, 14.763. Rico 9th and 7th here last year at Lakeside. Lap number 2, he's faster, 14.226, 14.226. Lap number 2 for Danny Sams. He will improve to 10th quick at 14.619, 14.619. Danny Sams 10th and Rico Abreu 2nd of 12 cars in Flight A. Qualifying next at Gravelous Mills, Missouri, the Ozark Barge and Dock, Wet Steps, High Performance Lubricants, Hibden Gravel, number 3 of Ayrton Jeniton. And also on the Speedway from Higginsville, Missouri, the Casey's, FVP, Andy's Frozen Custard, Impact Signs, Weld Racing, Cat Excavation, number 21B of Brian Brown. Brian Brown on the 21B, Ayrton Jeniton in the 3. Brian Brown, 2017 World of Outlaws winner here at Lakeside Speedway. Lap 1 for Jeniton. He will be 11th overall, 14.655, 14.655. Brian Brown, lap number 1. He'll be 13th overall, 14.799, 14.799. Jeniton, Power I 410 winner here last year. Lap number 2, 6 quick, 14.499, 14.499 for Jeniton. And for lap 2 of Brian Brown, he'll slow down to a 14.826. First lap better, 14.799. Brian Brown 13th and Ayrton Jeniton 6th quick of 14 cars. On the gas now out of Springfield, Nebraska, the Estenton Racing Carpet Land Certified Transmission Mecum Auctions number 53. Here is Jack Dover. And also on the racetrack from Odessa, Missouri, the Design Source Flooring Motor Haven Schnee Lawson Chassis TNT Equine number 74 of Xavier Doney. Xavier Doney in the 74, Jack Dover in the 53. Jack Dover, a ASCS Warrior Region win here in 2012. Lap 1 for him is going to be 13th overall at 14.793. Doney on lap 1, he's 16th overall at 14.877, 14.877. Xavier Doney was 6th here last year at the Power I 410 Series. Lap 2 for Jack Dover slows down to a 14.916. Doney on lap number 2, he slows down as well to a 15.034. First lap better, 14.877, 16th overall. Meanwhile, Jack Dover was 13th quick with one more car left to go in Flight A. Your final car in Flight A from Franklin, Indiana, the WCI Klossmeyer Patriot Motorsports IPC Z-Max number 27. Here is Emerson Axum. Emerson Axum in the 27. Axum here last year at Lakeside Speedway had a 4th place run with the PowerRide 410 series. He was also 4th with the USAC Sprint Cars in 2022. Lap 1 for Emerson is going to be 11th overall at 14.597, 1.4597. Ran the first 19 races of the season with the World of Outlaws and was sitting 13th in points prior to being here at Lakeside. Lap number 2 for him will be 5th quick, 14.471, 1.4471. Emerson Axum 5th in Flight A, but Kyle Larson is the fastest driver in the first flight of qualifying. Flight B coming up here in just a few moments. It was Larson and Abreu showing the way, as we now have the rest of the field coming out here in Flight B. From Grass Valley, California, driving the Napa Auto Parts, Brumo's Collection, Durst Incorporated, Factory Kane, FC Traffic Control number 49. Here is the Big Cat, Brad Sweet. And also on the Speedway from Minden, Nevada, driving the JST Motorsports, The Ritual, Smith Titanium, Factory Kane, Maxwell Racing Oils, number 88. Here is Tanner Thorson. Tanner Thorson in 88, Brad Sweet in 49. Sweet, the winner of both features last year. Lap 1 will be a 14.408, 1.4408. Lap 1 for Tanner Thorson, 14.807, 1.4807. Thorson was 17th and 14th with high limit at Lakeside in 2024. Lap 2 for Brad Sweet, he's going to slow down to a 14.539, 1.4539. And for lap 2 of Tanner Thorson, he will slow down as well to a 15.014. So Brad Sweet currently shows the way in Flight B of after 2 cars at 14.408 seconds. Up next from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the hefty brand seed, Blondie Motorsports, Odds and Underground IDSP number 6K of Caleb Johnson. And from Lubbock, Texas, Horizon Whiskey, Nice Crate and Landis, ShopTruckParts.com, PhilPools.com. High Performance Lubricants number 5 of Brenham Crouch. Brenham Crouch in the 5, Caleb Johnson in the 6K. Here comes the white flag for Caleb Johnson. Lap 1 for him will be 2nd quick, 14.687. And lap 1 for Brenham Crouch. He will be 2nd quick, 14.651, 1.4651. Caleb Johnson won his heat race last year, was in the dash with high limit at Lakeside. Lap 2 for him, he will improve to a 14.658. And for Brenham Crouch on lap number 2, he will slow down to a 14.768. Brenham Crouch 2nd, Caleb Johnson 3rd of 4 cars in Flight B. Getting up to speed now out of Fairland, Indiana, driving the Beaver Drill and Tools, Saw Drill Manufacturing, Bleeding Disorders of the Heartland, number 12X. Here is Cale Thomas. And also on the racetrack from Charlotte, North Carolina, the PristineAuction.com, Avanti Windows and Doors, number 84 of Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs in the 84, Cale Thomas in the 12X. Cale Thomas, 11th with the World of Outlaws here in 2019, his only other Lakeside Speedway appearance. Lap 1 will be a 14.806, 1.4806. Ty Gibbs on lap 1. He'll be a 14.955, 14.955. Cale Thomas, 8-time feature winner last year in Ohio. Lap number 2 for him will slow down to a 15.170. And Ty Gibbs on lap number 2, he will slow down as well to a 15.129. So Cale Thomas 4th and Ty Gibbs 6th of 6 cars here in Flight B. Next on the clock, out of Visalia, California, driving the Iowa Barnstormers, Des Moines Industrial Products, Jersey Freeze, Central Iowa Sheds, number 2KS. Here is Cory Eliason. And from Ankeny, Iowa, the C&D Elevator Construction, Hireview Enterprises, Heartland Steel, IntelliSense, number 44, it's Chris Martin. Chris Martin, the 44, Cory Eliason, the 2KS. Eliason was 23rd in DNQ with high limit last year here at Lakeside. Lap 1 for him will be 7th overall at 15.175, 15175. Chris Martin, lap 1, he is now 7th quick at 14.995, 14.995. Eliason, lap number 2. He will improve but stays 8th overall at 15.146. And for Chris Martin on lap 2, he's up to 6th quick, 14.932, 14.932. Chris Martin 6th and Cory Eliason 8th with 8 more cars left to qualify. Pair of high rollers now getting up to speed out of Monrovia, Indiana, driving the Skagit Speedway Race Redeem Foundation. Ford Performance Hager Rally Services, number 26 of Justin Peck. And also on the racetrack from Myerstown, Pennsylvania, M&M Painting and Construction, McGrew Equipment Auctions, Babs Paint, Livewire Customs, number 19 of Brent Marks. Brent Marks in the 19, Justin Peck in the 26. Justin Peck's opening lap will be 2nd quick, 14.587. Lap 1 for Brent Marks, he will be 7th overall, 14.868, 14.868. Justin Peck 2nd quick on lap 1. Lap number 2 is going to be better, 14.530, 14.530. Brent Marks, lap number 2, he's up to 5th now at 14.780, 14.780. Brent Marks 5th and Justin Peck 2nd, with 6 cars left to qualify in Flight B. From Clovis, California, driving the Myers Constructors, 4C's Construction, driven to save lives. Sander Engineering, Tally Oil, number 14 BC, here is Cory Day. And from Altoona, Iowa, driving the Country Builders Construction, Ochiko West, Bosma Family Farms, Tucker Trucking, number 88W, here is the big unit, Austin McCarl. Austin McCarl in the 88W, Cory Day in the 14 BC. Cory Day on lap 1 is 5th quick, 14.716, 14.716. McCarl, lap 1, 2nd quick, 14.524, 14.524. Cory Day, lap number 2, he will be better, stays 6th overall at 14.679. McCarl, lap number 2, he will slow down just barely to a 14.541. First lap better, 14.524, 2nd overall, and Cory Day P6 with a handful of cars left to come out. From St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, driving the TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Zip Bonds, Elite Installations, number 55, here is Kerry Madsen. And from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Pella Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, number 13 of Dason Persley. Kerry Madsen, World of Outlaws winner back in 2014, has 5 top 5s with the Outlaws here at Lakeside. Lap 1 is going to be 4th quick, 14.559, 14.559. Dason Persley's opening lap is going to be 14th overall at 15.205, 15.205. Kerry Madsen, lap number 2, he'll slow down to a 14.596. First lap slightly better, 14.559. Dason Persley, lap number 2, he's now 13th overall at 15.117, 15.117, so 13th for the 13. And Kerry Madsen 4th in car number 55. Should be your final 2 qualifiers out now. From Clute, Texas, the Fulkins Brothers Trucking, Power Plus, STC American Table, B&L Holdings, number 87. Here is Aaron Reitzel. And from Benton, Arkansas, driving the JB Henderson Construction, MPV Logistics, and Massey Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium, number 45X of Landon Crawley. Landon Crawley in the 45X, Aaron Reitzel in the 87. Reitzel way up on the top of the racetrack on lap number 1. He's going to be 8th overall at 14.680, 14.680. Landon Crawley, lap number 1, 12th overall at 14.910, 14.910. Reitzel tries a different line in turn number 4. Lap number 2, he will slow down to a 14.958. First lap better, 14.680. And Landon Crawley, lap 2, he will slow down as well to a 15.129. So Brad Sweet, the fastest there in Flight B of qualifying at 14.408 seconds. Austin McCarl 2nd, Justin Peck 3rd, Kerry Madsen 4th, and Brenham Crouch round out the top 5. But your fastest qualifier overall here tonight in car number 57, it's Young Money Kyle Larson. Larson's time, a 14.127 seconds. Came out relatively early on in the qualifying order, the fourth car out. And it certainly paid off for him. That car was stuck all the way around the 4/10 mile here at Lakeside. Larson was followed by Rico Aber in the second position there in the opening flight of qualifying. And so he will roll off from the fourth position in the first heat race of the night. Here at the Hasty Bake Grill's Kansas City Clash. We've got more on-track action coming up after this break here on FloRacing.
Hey, I'm Kyle Larson, and you're watching Kubota High Limit Racing on FloRacing.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches. We are the #1 Renegade Toterhome dealer and the #1 Intech and Bravo Sprint Car Trailer dealer. No one sells more Toterhomes and Sprint Car Trailers than we do. Check out our complete lineup at capitalrenegade.com. If you're in the market for a Toterhome or a trailer, trust the people that are in the pits with you and that support the sport.
Winning doesn't just happen. You have to engineer it. You have to test it and make it better than it was the last time. Our engineers have the passion to create the parts you need, the way you need them to be, again and again and again. We've led this game for over 40 years, and we design, refine, and perfect every valve-train part worthy of the winner's circle.
When it comes to magneto ignition performance, there's only one name that you can trust, and that's BR Motorsports Ignitioneering. Servicing the racing industry for over 30 years, our state-of-the-art Magneto Dyno Test Lab facility is equipped with the most technically advanced equipment available. And that's why crew chiefs like Paul Silva and Philip Dietz choose BR for all their ignition needs. To learn more, visit us at brpromag.com.